Hi all, and welcome to today's webinar focused on utilizing advanced analytics for SharePoint to maximize portal effectiveness. We are delighted to have you all with us today. My name is Luzanne, an account manager.
And I'm Ben Nimoy, the marketing manager here at Cardiolog Analytics. And today we'll explore practical strategies for data analysis and decision-making during our webinar titled Utilizing Advanced Analytics for SharePoint to Maximize Portal Effectiveness. Firstly, let's get some logistics out of the way. Please feel free to submit your questions throughout the presentation via the Q&A feature. We will address as many as we can at the end of the webinar. We are also recording this webinar and will share a link with you all after the event if you want to share this with a colleague. Now let's dive in.
In regards to the agenda for today's webinar, we'll start out with a short introduction. We'll talk a bit about Cardiolog Analytics and who we are. Then we'll jump into a presentation of Cardiolog Analytics reports to show you how those reports should be leveraged for SharePoint in order to get the best insights and actionable data for improving user engagement, optimizing content, and enhancing overall SharePoint site management. And as we've mentioned, at the end we'll have time and we'll be taking some Q&A, so feel free to send your questions throughout the course of the presentation.
So just a quick introduction. Cardiolog Analytics has been providing analytics for 365 for about 19 years now. We started back with SharePoint on-prem and grew with Microsoft to the cloud. Today we track everything from SharePoint to Teams, OneDrive, Viva Engage, and so on. A little bit about our vision as a company. This slide shows our evolution. Our goal is to help customers constantly improve SharePoint based on how it's being used. The four main pillars we talk to customers about are monitoring activity, which is tracking usage within SharePoint and Microsoft 365 platforms with in-depth intranet analytics, insights, and usage reports. Our customers realize that understanding usage analytics is often simply not enough. They wanted a way to take action based on the insights gained from monitoring their portal usage. And then enhance. We want to make sure we're constantly improving SharePoint and Microsoft 365 based on these pillars. The idea is to have actionable metrics, which allow us to constantly make SharePoint better for our users by increasing corporate productivity and improving portal ROI. The final pillar is incentivize. We can turn that data into a game as well. So instead of just the admins owning the data, we can make sure those end users have access to the data and can see how they compete with their colleagues. We can then conclude that by seeing how we can turn that raw data into exciting gamification and leverage that within your organization. Today, we'll explore how to utilize Cardiolog Analytics Advanced Analytics for SharePoint to maximize portal effectiveness. Advanced analytics in SharePoint can streamline the analysis of user behavior, search patterns, content engagement, and portal management, providing critical benchmarks and highlighting key areas of focus. By illuminating these insights, Cardiolog Analytics equips you with the essential context to guide your decision-making and optimize portal performance. Let's take a look at Cardiolog Analytics Advanced Reports function and illustrate how they can enhance your daily portal effectiveness. I'll go ahead and jump straight into the reports that we have available out of the box, and I'll talk you through ways in which we can leverage the different metrics provided in those reports. Here we can see the Power BI interface, and we can already see on the left-hand side the Cardiolog reports. In Power BI, it's very easy to create and customize your own visuals and reports. However, we have built several pre-made dashboards that focus on main goals that organizations using SharePoint tend to have. This is to make it easier for our customers to get started and to make sure you're getting the analytics you need in order to meet your portal goals. Our reports provide insights around SharePoint, adoption, engagement, improving usability, optimizing portal resources, collaboration, and more. Let's dive in, starting here with Usage Overview. This is the Usage Overview report. which is designed to give a high-level overview of how the portal is being used. The first thing that you could see on the left-hand side is the portal tree filter. This is the hierarchy of the portal, including all the site collections that you're tracking and everything within them. So all the subsites, lists, libraries, and then the actual items themselves. So that's all the pages, documents, and list items. Everything will appear here in the portal tree filter, and you can use this in order to filter any report to focus only on the particular areas of the portal that you're interested in. For example, if you want to get information about all your track sites, you can just click on All to see data for everything. But if you're a site owner and you want to get the information specifically about just your site, you can select it from the portal tree filter and get the relevant information specifically for your site. As well, you can go a step further and filter by page type at the top right-hand side, for instance by news page, unpublished pages, or regular site page. The idea is that you can select any object you want to see information for a specific area within SharePoint using the different filters available. Please also keep in mind that your selections in the portal tree filter within this usage overview report will synchronize across all other reports as well. This means if you select data for a specific site, you'll see the visuals filtered for that selected site in all other reports. Another type of filter we have is based on content type, or the template in SharePoint. So if you want to focus only on documents or blog posts, for example, all you need to do is click on the relevant button at the top here, and this will filter your report to show you only the relevant information. Let's dive into the content section. So if you want to understand content trends over time, what's the most popular content, inactive content, and so forth, we can see right here within the content section. Looking at the table at the bottom here, I have a list of all the most popular items in SharePoint, which helps us understand what we can really focus on and what actions we need to take. So as I put this table of content into focus mode, by default we are seeing all of our most popular content based on these page views, view numbers, and also when it was last viewed, the time spent viewing on this content, and how many unique users have viewed the content, and even who created the content and its size. This is really powerful information because once you know what's popular, you may want to link that to your SharePoint homepage. So this page, for example, is really popular. So instead of people wasting time searching for it on your site, you can quickly make a link to it on the homepage because you already know what's the most popular among your users. Even going a step further, if you already have a designated space for quick links, or links you believe to be commonly used, this feature becomes even more valuable because now you can verify and ensure that these links truly are the ones receiving the most engagement. Now let's flip that around with the page views arrow that's right here. And now we're showing all the inactive content. So it's all the content not being used or haven't been viewed at all, whether it's sites, documents, pages, wikis, and more. So what's the real value in this analysis? It's about streamlining our content to enhance user experience. First, we can identify and remove content that isn't being utilized. Then, if we see that we have important but outdated content, let's go ahead and update it. And lastly, if that content is already up to date and you know it's not being viewed by your users, let's increase its visibility if that content is something you want your users to be seeing. This can mean linking it on the homepage or making it more accessible in other ways. By doing so, we can ensure that our users can easily find and access the content that matters the most. So that's the action we can take based on what's most popular and least popular of the content. Let's go back to the main report and look at some other ways to interact with the data you've collected. Firstly, our Date Slicer tool allows you to tailor the date range for your analytics. We typically store a year's worth of data, but this can be extended beyond 12 months. You can access usage data from the time your site was first onboarded and tracked. You'll find that every data point in this dashboard is interactive. When you click on any element, it filters the entire dashboard based on your selection. For instance, clicking on a specific department will display usage data exclusively for that department. This means for something like the most popular content, you can drill down to see which items are most utilized by, say, the technical support department. Similarly, selecting a specific content item also filters the report to show its performance and the departments engaging with it the most. Let's now turn our attention to the Visitor Adoption Overview report. Understanding user adoption is a critical aspect for any organization utilizing SharePoint, and stakeholders often ask how they can better engage users to utilize the portal more efficiently. And so to address this, we've developed a series of reports focusing on user adoption. This particular report provides a comprehensive overview of adoption metrics. Take the active users rate graph, for example. It contrasts the number of active SharePoint users, those who have logged in at least once during the selected date range, against the inactive users. Another key metric is the average depth of visit, which indicates the average number of pages visited per session. So, if you would have seen a low number like 1 or 2, it would suggest limited engagement and would signal potential area for improvement. Above that, we have the average length of visit, which reflects the typical time users spend per visit and is a key indicator of how deeply users are engaging with the portal. Extended visit durations usually imply that content resonates well with users, hinting at a successful user experience design. In contrast, brief visits may signal the need for more engaging and more relevant content. Also, keep in mind that we do stop counting a session after 30 minutes of idle time. So if a user is interacting with the portal and then leaves to make a cup of coffee, for example, once they return after 30 minutes, that session will be counted as new. Meanwhile, the single page visit percentage reveals the initial user engagement by tracking visits with only one page viewed. A high rate may indicate issues at the first point of contact, like unclear navigation or unengaging landing pages. This metric can help us enhance our portal entry points to better capture and retain user interests. Underneath, we have the bounce rate. In Cardiolog SaaS, a bounce is defined as a visit that ended within 30 seconds. So this will show us the percentage of visits that lasted no longer than that time. We can find more information about our users at the bottom with this chart, such as how many new versus returning visitors we have to our sites. However, let's take a look at our active and inactive user report to delve deeper into user activity levels. The active and inactive users chart breaks down user activity by department, helping identify departments with higher rates of inactivity. For instance, by selecting the technical support department, we can explore the specific engagement metrics, including the depth, that is the average amount of pages opened during each visit for all users, and duration of visits, identifying both highly engaged and less active users within the department to know who is not very active. So you can target those who need more training, more support, and improve their adoption rates. This can also help us identify which departments are most active within SharePoint and which departments are lagging behind, and help us identify where we might need to focus some more of our training efforts or encourage more user interaction instead of taking a one-size-fits-all strategy. This breakdown by departments is also customizable and can be any attribute you like to use, like region, country, branch, or job title. Next is our Leadership Overview report. This area of the report focuses on visitors. Find out the percentage of employees that are visiting your sites and how that differs from last quarter. Are more employees visiting your sites this quarter, or were your engagement levels better last quarter? Immediately you can find out that 27% more users visited your sites this quarter, and you'll know if you're doing better or not. You can also change this filter to compare month to month and year to year. Understanding your users and what interests them for increased usage is important. While we already know which audiences are using the sites the most, as well as those that use it the least, what you can see reported here is the growth potential, users that could be using the site more. We have listed the content that users in the bottom segment were most interested in, and we know that by targeting the bottom audiences with the content their colleagues are interested in, can increase your portal engagement by 168 monthly users. You can select which audiences you want to focus on in the audience filter. After you take action and start to target the specific audiences with the content of interest to them, you can easily then revisit this data to see if the action you took actually helped to increase the engagement levels for that audience. Now we know that, for example, this quarter, users who were targeted in the business development department visited the site 18.8% more than last quarter. We show you insights about activity patterns to help you understand how well the portal is performing. At the end of the day, leadership wants to know if users are engaging with the portal as often as intended. Here you can see that users visit the portal 1.16 days a month and spent 0.3 hours in the portal, which has increased by 91% compared to last month. This insight is crucial, as it helps determine if enhanced engagement strategies are needed to boost visitor retention or improve content relevancy to encourage longer visits. Take this content. We see it attracted 10% more users this month than when it was initially published last month, which is really powerful information if we want to see our efforts and content reach is improving and effective. You can also choose to focus on specific types of content, whether it's documents or news articles, using this filter right here. If you are publishing a news articles and aim to broaden their reach by promoting them through weekly newsletters, you can refer to this top trending report to verify if your efforts are effective in attracting more viewers to these articles and to monitor any growth. Additionally, you can track the impact of your newsletters specifically by observing the successful campaigns visual. It shows which campaigns have brought the most traffic to your site and can therefore tell you how many visitors who read the news articles were directed there from your weekly newsletter. In this report, we can see how many times each piece of content was viewed directly and how many times it was viewed through a campaign. Similarly, by analyzing trending search phrases, you can identify which topics or terms are gathering interest among your visitors and tailor your content to align with these emerging trends and increase engagement and visitor retention. The leadership dashboard saves significant time by eliminating the need for extensive data analysis and decision-making. We now generate insights for you, meaning you no longer need to ponder over data and can present these findings directly to leadership.
Moving on to the usability category and specifically to search optimization. Usability is something that's really important to be aware of, especially if you're trying to improve adoption and engagement. This means ensuring the portal is user-friendly with effective search functions, straightforward navigation, and easy access to relevant content. We see that when users can find what they need easily, it can lead to increased adoption, especially since we know that search can be preferred method of getting around the portal. So if search isn't working well for them, then it's going to be really difficult for them to use the portal productively. Let's look at this graph, which shows the top search phrases used across the portal or on the individual sites. This gives us a real sense of what our users are looking for and what matters to them. Take this top search term, business data. If I click on it, we get more details like how often it was searched and by how many unique users. This already tells us how popular a search term actually is. For instance, if lots of users are searching for a particular app or document, it's a clear sign that it's something they need. We can make things easier for everyone by simply adding these popular items to more visible spots, like the home page or our navigation menu. We can also see the average number of search results that were returned when searching a specific phrase. If the number of search results is really low, it could be that there's not enough relevant content around the search term, in which case we'll need to add to that content. Or it may be that the content is actually there, but there are some permissions issues maybe, or the search engine may need to be optimized. Alternatively, if too many results are returned, this may be overwhelming for a user to have to sift through so many results just to get to the relevant one. We can also see average search results position. This is the average position of the results that were clicked on from search results pages. So on average, did users click on the first result, or the second result, or the 10th result? If we see that users clicked on around the 10th or 11th, as it is here, result, this means that I had to go through 10 or 11 results before finding the relevant content. Then that might be something we'd want to improve. One way we can improve that easily is by checking which search results users did actually click on in the search results clicked table, and then promote or bookmark these search results. And then finally, the percentage of searches that led to a click on a search result. This is really an important metric if we want to understand how well search is performing in general, or for a specific search phrase. Of course, if a user searches for something and then doesn't click on any result, it's most likely because they didn't find any relevant results for them. So for example, if we see that 50% of users who search for a specific term didn't click on any result, they presumably weren't able to find anything relevant. Instead, they needed to change their search phrase or try to find the relevant information in some other way. As we can see, search optimization does play a crucial role in our portal's usability. By understanding and refining just how users are actually searching and not guessing what they are interested in, we can enhance their experience and improve user satisfaction. As we've seen in other reports, we can drill down to show popular search terms for specific departments, or you can even customize the report to show popular search terms by any other user profile attributes such as job title, country, and so forth. Taking a quick look at our visitor technology report, you can delve into how users access SharePoint, be it through desktop or mobile, and also what browsers and operating systems they prefer. This data is really useful also for optimizing user experience. For example, if we see a few users on a certain mobile device, it might mean that they need a bit more help and guidance on how to use it. So just by making access simpler, we encourage more people to use SharePoint on different devices and hopefully make it more easily accessible. As we think about user journeys, it is important to analyze what is leading them away from the portal and to pinpoint the areas with the highest exit rates. With the top exit pages chart, you can see listed the top exit pages from which users navigated elsewhere or simply closed their browser. We want to check when thinking about our top exit pages if these are indeed pages we expect our users to lead from. For example, we can see that one of our top exit pages is a training video. So once we know that this has a high exit, we can further investigate this and find out whether the training video was useful and users completed watching it. Or perhaps the content was not engaging and they simply closed out the browser and exited. combining this information with other metrics such as the average duration, we can conclude which of the two assumptions may be true. As you can see here, engaging with a training video that might be 30 minutes long for only 2 to 3 minutes is concerning and can help us take action on improving this training video in order to get users to engage with it for longer and not to exit the page quite so quickly. Next, let's continue to explore the exit points by looking at our external links report. This report provides data on outbound links. These are the links on our portal that lead users to external applications and resources. Understanding these clicks is crucial because it shows us which external resources are most valuable to our users. On the left-hand side, you have a list of the pages that have external links. And once you select a specific page, you'll see the top external links on that particular page, and also how many times each link was clicked on, which is displayed next to it on this chart here. These are some of the excellent reports that Cardiolog Analytics SaaS has to offer for your organization to leverage in order to get the best out of your SharePoint environment. Now let's get some questions. I see we have a question from Sarah. What is the licensing for this? The license, Sarah, is a yearly subscription based on the number of users that we will be tracking. We are almost out of time, so I'll take one more question. We have another question here from Vlad. How does deployment work? So Vlad, what's really neat about this tool is that it is designed for SharePoint, so there's no need for customization when you want to deploy. With our setup wizard, you can get it up and running within an hour and already start to collect this excellent data. So from our side, we just also want to say that we have a free trial as well as proof of concept for people who want a longer evaluation or who want to try more environments versus our free limited trial. You can reach out to us and we can share more information about what is included in each. So you can visit us at intlock.com to book your free demo or trial of any of the solutions that you saw here today. And for more information and helpful tips, you can check out our blog at blog.intlock.com. For more information, you can also contact us directly at info@intlock.com. So a huge thank you to everyone who joined us today and sent in their questions. And have a good rest of your day. Goodbye.
Take care, everyone.